welcome back to my watercolor channel, to my Christmas special. And today I paint my first box, so yes, there are more to come. I need to sketch of the fox first because it's a little bit more difficult to do it freestyle. So I will shape the ball and then I add the features of the fox around or inside, because the fox is basically cut up and it is quite cold, and I take some time to draw or to prepare the sketch, so I erase a lot because I'm not happy with the features, especially around the head, which is the most important part in here. It felt a bit too big and the eyes were a bit too much apart, so I do orientate myself on a photo which I added underneath. Then I prepare the colors, so I mix out of some deep yellow and a little bit of a cadmium red, some orange, and I start to spread it onto the fox. I use a medium-sized brush and then I press down the paint onto the paper. I did not wet the fox head, and then I add a bit more of the yellow, and then I wet a little bit the edges around the fox, so the paint is gonna flow towards this part because I want to have a mixture of hard and soft edges. Now I added also some of darker orange, which means basically I just added some of the cadmium red into the mixture, and you can see here the fox has a very great hairstyle. And then adding a little bit around the eye, just to emphasize the main features so it is not too realistic. The fox is one of my favorite animals, especially as I actually saw this year when we were on the holidays in Utsuki and Lapland one, and I think they're very beautiful animals. So I like painting them as well, especially the orange fur. And then I take off some of the paint after I did some brown color, just to emphasize some highlights. I mix more brown color, so I use the cadmium red and some deep yellow and ultramarine blue, but I made here it much more darker, and I waited till the first layer has dried to continue with the ears, but it's still slightly wet, as you can see. And here now emphasizing the tail of the fox. Now everything has dried, and I use a very strong orange. Basically, it's now more like a cadmium red with a pinch of yellow, and then spreading it around the main features as the fox is colored up, so all you can see is the hip and the upper back. So I try to emphasize its roundness here as well as the tail. So here I really add the strong colors, and then now and again I add some water to take off the hard edge, so the paint has to be relatively dry. And then adding more orange around the eye, so using a very thin brush here. Also, I had the feeling it's a bit strong in color, and I take off with water some of the paint, and it's a bit more wetted, so it's kind of flowing nicely together. Now adding the characteristic feature of the fox's head here, so adding also strong color and playing around with the water. And here as well, emphasizing a little bit of the tail, and again underneath the eye, adding more arch to the top of the head, so it looks really striking. Now I'll continue with the background, and I apologize in advance that the camera stopped working, but here it still was, so I added a light layer of phthalo blue and indigo blue onto the ground, and then I wet the background because I wanted to add it there, some phthalo blue. And in a very blurry way, so not that many hard features around, but obviously the fox is the main focus. So spreading the paint, and here I have added some of very strong indigo blue, and also put some salt on the top. Now I continue with the eye, and just adding very strong indigo blue there, mixed with a little bit of Payne's Grey to make it really, really dark. As well as under the nose, and then a little bit around. And here I add just a little bit of light hocus green, and then some brown color and red, more red to emphasize the features. So a little bit more red here, and that's it. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the painting, and see you tomorrow. Bye!